What's up? I'm Radio Natalie. It's that 206 Sound Podcast, episode 10. I can't believe we're finally at the double digits of our podcast episodes. Thanks for being here. I am so excited for this interview today because it's been about 2 years, maybe a year and a half in the making. And we're finally here. I feel like the world was honestly trying to keep us apart. But we're here together. And I'm really excited because she is an incredible singer and songwriter, a producer, and you also have directed music videos too, or have one of your own. And I'm just super excited to have her here because her music is so dope and she's high key a fashion icon. She has had success in both LA and now Seattle. Here she is. It's Alexis Brooke.
What an intro, bitch.
Yes! Dude, thanks for being here. How are you?
I'm so good. Well, yeah, thank you so much. I remember,
dude.
I think we were at Barboza almost 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
it was the Lovely Color show.
Yes.
And it was the first time I was meeting a lot of people there and I saw you and I was like, Alexis?
Yeah.
And then you're like, Natalie? And I'm like, whoa, what the hell are you doing here?
And I remember we talked about, you were like, you should start doing shows. And
dude,
you were like, I want to do a podcast. So this is very full circle. I was thinking about that and I'm like,
oh yeah,
so happy for us.
I know, dude. I have been a fan of yours for a very long time, since 2016, and probably even 2014 when you started doing SoundCloud.
I know, you've supported me forever.
I know. When I really like good music, I like just some super, I ride or die for people. It's a thing.
I really appreciate that. It's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, dude.
That we're here now. So.
Yeah. I feel like success is not an overnight thing. Would you say so?
No, definitely not. And I feel like there's still, there's a lot that I've accomplished that I am proud of, but there's still, more
so
to
much
do,
more.
You know?
Yeah.
It's levels and levels of just continuing and reaching new goals.
Yeah, dude. It's so true.
Yeah.
So, just to kind of get into a little bit more of your background. So, look, one of my questions here says, where are you from? We went to high school together in middle school. I was looking at my middle school yearbook and we were in choir in the 6th grade. I didn't want to bring this. I didn't want to bury you, but I was like, wait, that's Alexis right there. And I'm on the back of the riser.
Do you remember choir?
I remember Beaver Lake Choir.
I totally remember choir.
Yeah, with Miss Worthington.
Yes.
What did you think of her?
She was intense, strong woman. I remember I think I sang some really country some Home on the I don't don't even know what the song was called. They had us do some very Amish solo songs.
Yeah.
Back then, but that was really cool.
Yeah, she was a good teacher. I don't really remember her that much. No offense, Miss Worthington.
It wasn't super fundamental to my life.
No, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. So is that kind of where you got your start in music? Was doing choir?
Oh my God! Imagine I'm that was the defining moment. No,
you were there when it all started.
I think it was actually earlier than that. It was church for me.
Okay.
It was Holy Night.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had me sing a solo, and I was 6 or 7 or something.
Oh my God.
And my whole family was there, and they were like, "You can
They're
sing."
we didn't know you could do this.
Yeah, it was. And then I think always for me, growing up, the pop icons Britney, Christina,
oh yeah.
When we were younger, I was I want to be that. I don't even think there is celebrities that are like that anymore. That was such a different time. But what influences to have for us.
I know.
As girls, as young girls, they were so powerful and so hot and so talented. The choreo, the outfits, it was just the whole thing for me. I was
oh, I know.
starstruck.
Especially Britney too. I mean, she's a one in a million for sure.
Yeah.
So did you kind of mimic what you were seeing on TV? At the time when you were getting into it?
Yeah. And then I don't think I really made music until college. But when I was younger, yeah, my neighbor had a studio in their closet and they let me sing Britney Spears on autotune when I was 10.
That's so
and I was
sick.
This is the coolest thing ever.
Dude, it is.
Yeah, she was
doing that for the first time is always the craziest thing for sure. So yeah, you grew up in Sammamish, Issaquah area. That's where we're from, if you didn't know. Yep. So you graduated and then you went to college at the Art Institute in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that still
North Hollywood
there?
No.
Because I know the Art Institute in Seattle, kind of debunked a long time ago.
They all shut down like a quarter after I graduated.
Really?
Yeah, some of my friends did not get to finish their degrees, which was devastating.
That's horrible.
And then it just like ruins your alumni community, you know what I mean? Because you don't have like...
You have nothing to go back to.
Yeah, at all. So, I don't know, there was some like fraud scam, like they were making money. I don't know. They just weren't running their college properly.
Well, so what did you studied fashion? Was it like fashion merchandising specifically or just overall fashion?
Marketing and management. So just kind of like everything on how to do a whole production line, how to market it, how to do a business plan. Took some sewing classes, like kind of everything.
That's dope.
It was really cool.
Have you always been into fashion growing up?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I think part of it is like being poor, maybe too. Like when you're younger and you're like, I gotta put things together. Like, I gotta make it work.
Well, especially when you get your own money, too. Like, it feels so good to be able to, like, put your own stuff together.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was a huge thrift. I mean, I kind of had to be a thrifter growing up.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. It's funny that it's so popular now, but it's like, no, like, this was, like, my only option back then.
It was, like, embarrassing. I was like...
I know.
It
was just so sad. Because I think for me, it was more like a really big secret. It's like, yeah, I got all these cool clothes that nobody else can get. And, like, nobody knows Plato's Closet. Nobody, like, goes to Value Village. Not everybody goes there. And I'm like, get off my turf, please.
Yeah, and the resellers kill me now.
Oh my God.
Let me thrift and sell this t-shirt for $300. Like,
dude, and it's like just like a Y2K shirt.
It's like, please get out of my fucking face.
Yeah, exactly.
That annoys me so bad.
Me too. It just like raises the price of everything too.
Yeah.
And it's just so unnecessary.
It really is. I don't like that. And it's like somebody else's thrift picks as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the fun of it is like you're picking things. Like, it's like your treasure hunt. So, I don't know. The already curated stuff, not for me.
I agree. Because there's so many things that you just miss out on when you're looking. Or when you don't look. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah. I get you.
Yeah. But you went to college for fashion, but you started getting into music kind of more seriously then.
Yeah. I think that was kind of like not my decoy, but like something I could move, and because my parents were like, no, you're going to college. So I was like, okay.
Did you not want to go initially?
I don't think I was like against it in any type of way, but I was just like, how can I make it work for my goals? Since I was in like Hollywood and at art school, it was like very accessible, like in ways that it never was for me, especially in high school, like in, Issaquah.
Yeah.
In like the suburbs and like a random town in the forest. It was like, who the hell is making music? We had like, I feel like we had no access to it, and just like nobody was doing it. Like I didn't even know what recording equipment looked like. I just knew I wanted to like be around it. So then when it was like all accessible, I was like, heaven.
It's like it's the perfect time. Yeah. It's like the time to do it.
Yeah, that's when it got real for me.
So were there like any fears kind of going into it? Because it can be really intimidating. But were you intimidated at all?
No, I was like so fearless at the age of 18. I was like, pack my shit, let's drive, and let's just like do it.
Dude, it's the hub to be in.
Yeah,
like for sure.
At that time too, like if you think about 2014, like we had such less social media and like such less, just it's already so different. Like it's been like 11 years. What the hell?
Which is crazy to think about. Yeah.
But it was like, I thought that you were going to like get discovered on the street type thing. Like that was like the era when you couldn't even upload your own music yet.
That's right. Because it was SoundCloud, which is what like you kind of did. Yeah.
And then it became more accessible for everybody to be like just distribute their own music. But at the time I was like, I'm just going to be so good at what I do. Like Drake's going to discover me.
Dude, yeah.
When I was younger, I was like, I'm going to be Young Money's like first, like just all kinds of
You're just super ambitious and it's exciting.
Had so much balls,
like lit a fire under you.
Yeah.
I think just going to like another place that's like so different from, especially from Sammamish, I mean, that's like night and day. And like, it just lights a different fire in you where you're just ready to just go and fire off. Yeah,
you totally know this because we like grew up in the same small town. Like it's just so different.
It's so different. Yeah, and being in the city is just really where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
So also, it was kind of funny because I was doing research on you. You've actually been in like a decent amount of music videos that I don't think people really know that about you.
That is such a fun fact.
Like, can you list some of them?
Yeah, I had a video vixen Era.
Was it the one where you were in your swimsuit coming out of the water?
Sean Kingston.
Dude, that was the one. I was like, it was a big name that everybody knew, but I didn't know. That's freaking crazy.
And then I did a bunch of like Ray Shrem videos back in the day.
What?
Those were probably like the most fun.
Yeah.
Wiz Khalifa and some like random boy bands too at the time that were like popping. But those were always super, super fun because it wasn't like anything serious you were on set for. So it was just like party, like we'd be drinking for real.
Just fun to be there. And just be around that environment too. Yeah. People would just bring like bottles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the rappers would just be like passing around weed and everything to the girls and shit.
And be like, yeah, say less. I'll take every hit and every sip I can. That's so crazy, dude. Was it just like an open casting call?
One of those, the Sean Kingston one, I was actually like walking down Fairfax and like met some guy that like casted a lot of stuff. So he like told me like just pull up to Sean's house, and I was like, okay.
What?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I like left class to do that because I was like,
I would leave class too. Like,
yeah, I was like on Instagram.
I can learn later.
Like, I'm like, this is a crazy opportunity, and then
that's insane.
There's like so much lore around that situation. Yeah, and then the other ones, like I think my friend was like a videographer for Ray Shrem for a while.
That's sick.
He just like had invited me to a couple. I'm trying to think, like, did I get fucking paid for any of these? Like,
I was about to say, because I know like it's definitely more common, I think, to get paid even if you're just an extra over there.
Like if you're properly casted. I think a couple of them I was on a casting website and got like paid, but even then it's like you're getting paid like $50, $80 for like a whole day, but it was like so fun.
The real payment is the clout that you get from it for sure.
Yeah, and just the experience, like crazy.
That's insane,
dude. I can't believe that. That's like actually sickening to think about, like
just to be in all. I just
was in a bikini in that video.
No, dude, like no. That's you should be proud of the way you look. Like that's all I'm gonna say. But like,
I'll tell my kids about that one.
Yes, like this was mommy back then. Sorry.
Literally.
So just kind of touching back more on that though, what's the craziest music video shoot that you've been in?
I'm trying to think. I want to say it was the Sean Kingston one, just because it was like so chaotic. Like he brought so many of his friends that were like other artists in the game, and then like there was just hella girls, and like I don't know, I guess just kind of being exposed to like that whole side of things too, because you're like really in the room with like a lot of industry people, and they're like just chaotic, like doing whatever, drugs.
It's kind of like what you see in the movies a little bit.
Like people are like, you know, hooking up and like getting digits and like just chaos, you know, kind of like, ooh, this is like at times low vibrational energy. Like
I
a
get
little
what
demonic.
You mean. A little fake. Yeah. Definitely. I feel that. Well, kind of before we go into your music, you know, the LA fires are happening. How is it being over here, seeing what's going on in a city that you really got a lot of your knowledge from in music?
Really, really heartbreaking and sad. Like, I was crying on like Wednesday because there's so much footage of it, and it's like really sad. Interviews of people like that are really old and losing their things, and animals and things like that. Yeah. And it's also like burnt down iconic structures this time around. I know. Because I told you earlier, LA's always on fire, but it's always like kind of the valleys. But this like really came down into the city, and like museums got wiped out, like schools, people's whole communities. So I just like, but I do see the city really rallying together.
I think that's the beauty of when really horrible disasters happen. It's just the way people come together.
Yeah, like restaurants are opening up, like a lot of designers are like, come take whatever you want.
Oh, that's so
clothing.
Nice.
A lot of places are doing food drives, evacuation shelters. So I think like they're really, really coming together, which is cool to see. But like they're still in the midst of it. It's still going on.
Yeah, I don't even think it's like any, or is it even contained to any degree?
I
maybe
think
a
there's
small
a ton
percent.
of them like going on, so I don't even know.
I know.
But
Yeah, because I remember just at one point they were like, yeah, it's still 0% contained after like 12 hours. I'm like, that's insane to me.
yeah, it's devastating. Imagine like losing your home, your school, your things, like, and you have a place to go, maybe like a hotel, but then what? You have nothing.
Yeah, like what's the next plan? Yeah, especially when that's everything you know too.
Yeah,
It's, I can't even imagine.
I know.
I know.
It's really sad. I'm very sad for them.
Yeah. I guess that's a little, maybe that's kind of good thing about Seattle is everything's just always wet and rainy. I know we were talking about like, oh, it's so nice being in LA because it's so sunny, you know, but then also it's like, okay, well, I guess it is somewhat nice being here at
Yeah.
the same time.
We have really good air.
Very good air.
Very fresh air.
I love the fresh air. All the West Coast just has really good air too. Once you get to the East Coast, it's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm suffocating in heat.
Smog as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of going into Seattle. So how would you say you would compare the LA music scene to Seattle? Like both pros and cons for each, if you can think of.
I'll say something that's like so interesting to me about the way that people, I feel like in LA, the way that every studio session was run and every person I worked with kind of was like very industry trained. Like people had like certain presets, certain sounds, certain like almost like not everyone had the same sound, but like everyone kind of used like the same types of like tune and reverb and stuff like that. I feel like when I've worked with like a few different people out here, they're like a lot more their own person.
Yeah.
So I like would record with some people and be like, ew, I hate the way my voice sounds because it's like very raw vocals. But I'm like, you guys just aren't doing like the industry, you know, like shit that people
Industry
in LA would
standard.
do because like
Yeah.
we're so used to hearing everything kind of be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's the recording process has been like different besides like a few studios. And then just another difference is like people have such an alias in LA, like you don't know their real name for years. Like
yeah.
they're such characters, and I feel like people don't do that as much here. Like it's a little more down to earth. It's a little more like real. But then also I kind of miss the like be a character, like have a stage name and go by that and really just like wear weird shit and, you know, be that because that's part of being an artist. So
Yeah.
super different.
Yeah. Would you
in many
say, like, is there a scene that you think is a little bit more friendlier than the other?
I feel like I do feel like LA for me was way more collaborative. Like people were just a lot more willing to want to do stuff than Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I kind of noticed that too. Just, I feel like the music scene here, I'm not like talking smack, but I feel like the music scene here can be very like, if you're not in it, you're really outside of it.
Yeah.
And that always really turned me off for a really long time. And then I ended up meeting a good group of people the last couple of years, so that's been nice. But like, it made me like honestly hate the Seattle music scene just because of the way people were like that.
It could be discouraging. Like I don't know if it's competitiveness or if it's like, it does feel like gatekeepy though.
Yeah, maybe it's like the Seattle freeze or something, but
yeah, people say that. I don't know what it is. It's just like a different vibe for sure.
Yeah,
But
I can't put my finger on it quite.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been releasing music for about 10 years, would you say, or maybe even more than that? Actually, no, God, that's like 11 years because it's 2025.
Oh my
Ew,
God.
this is disgusting.
I know. Yeah, like so long. Yeah, so long.
So you got into like releasing music on SoundCloud? Or that was kind of like the only way you could at the time, like you said earlier.
Yeah, I think that's literally the only place you really could at the time. Yeah, and now you can distribute everywhere, which is so amazing. That's actually such a big advancement for artists now, like being able to be your own distributor kind of. And like be on Apple Music. I mean, without a label, like that's pretty
It's
insane.
really cool. It's so cool to see that too, and just also probably something that you grew up like a software that you grew up listening to, like iTunes or Spotify, and seeing your face on there. That'd be like
So
crazy.
true.
I'd be like, shut up, that's me.
I know.
That's so dope. So do you write your own music?
Yes.
Like all your lyrics?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And you kind of, I feel like you've started producing in the last like couple years. Am I right on that?
Yeah, since COVID, cause like I couldn't work with anybody during that time.
Yeah,
really,
you had to DIY it.
Yeah, so I was like, damn. And the other thing that I hated was like relying on people, and like especially men, because it's so male dominated, to like work if I wanted to work or if I had an idea. So I was like, I think I just got pissed of that, and I was like, I'm gonna teach myself like how to engineer myself in Pro Tools. So I've gotten like really decent at that. And like
Pro Tools is not easy too.
Dude.
And you taught that yourself? Oh my God, I took a class on it and I barely got it.
You did?
Yeah. It was in high school, funny enough. They like
awesome.
taught like a music and like songwriting class, so I took it, but I was like, I have no idea what's happening.
Right? It is complex. It is complex. But as long as like I can get an idea down, it might not be like releasable, but it's like a demo I can bring.
Yeah, and it's just good practice too.
Yeah.
And just being able to call the shots and have more like autonomy on like what you're putting out there.
Yeah. And you have a little bit more knowledge of like what you want your sound to sound like because you mess around with it yourself. Instead of totally trusting somebody else. But it's also, there's also power in like delegating. I don't think you should be like, yeah, I'm gonna do my own mixing, my own recording. Like that's too much as an artist.
It's too much.
You should just like focus on the creation part and like let somebody else. But it's nice to have the freedom if you want to track your own idea, you know?
Yeah, and it's good to just have, it's worth the money. I think a lot of people always are like, oh, it's so expensive to get your music like made, but it is so worth it to have just like a team around you.
Yeah, that's true.
What you said earlier, I want to put a pin on it, that was super interesting, was being in a male-dominated industry. And that was something that I actually put in my questions that I really want to talk to you about. And
Ooh, women power.
Dude, we run the world. But I always see you and you're like your show at you performed in a show at the Tractor Tavern, if I'm not mistaken. Sunset Tavern? No, what was it?
Central?
I think so, yeah. I always call it, I don't know why I call it that. God damn it. But you were on stage and it was just all men. And like, you know, like you've said, like you work with a lot of men. And is that like, how do I want to ask this? Do you feel like a sense of kind of like you're a little bit more on guard?
No, I feel like I've always been blessed to work with like really good people and like good guys. So I don't feel like it's ever made me uncomfortable, but it's like so foreign to imagine like a woman running a studio session for me or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. I don't know. I mean, it's not like women can't. They just like maybe aren't interested in engineering. I don't know, but it's just like in order to make music, I do feel like I have to heavily rely on like men because they're like the ones that
are doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't ever make me feel weird necessarily, but I definitely have awareness around the situation that like even in a lot of shows I do, it's like it's a lot of men. Yeah. So it's like I'm a minority here. But
but you're representing
energy.
Yeah. And I mean, they obviously wouldn't be there if they didn't have like any, like, you know, some type of respect for you, you know?
Yeah.
And do you have any, I mean, I know you said you haven't really experienced any situations that have made you uncomfortable, but do you have any advice for women that are wanting to break in a male-dominated kind of scene?
That's a good one. Even at work, because I do sales, it's so many men and like business and like older men, and I think just like execution, like showing up is so important. Even if you're like uncomfortable, God forbid like anyone does anything to make you uncomfortable, like that's a different story, but just like being there is such a big step. I feel like there's times that I'm like, do I want to do this? But I'm like you said, representation is so important. I think I would encourage like more women to get into that if they're interested in it, like engineering and just like doing kind of like these male jobs. I just watched the Barbie movie too. Have you seen that?
Oh my God, of course I have.
That was so funny.
You'd watch it for the first time?
Yeah.
You didn't go to theaters?
No, I don't know. I just like wasn't interested in it, but I just saw
a lot of times like the hype can be like turn me off a bit. I'm like, okay guys, you need to all calm down.
But it's so funny when she goes to the real world. And
I know.
She goes, oh, a construction site. I need some feminine energy. And it's like,
dude,
all men. And she's like, wait, what? And
it's
then they
so
realize
funny.
how like male dominated the world is. I was like, light bulb for me. Like, it really is.
It like it really like makes you like even things that you already know, having it explained in a way that that movie explained it, where it was almost like not like for dummies, but just really panned it out in a way that was so simple for everybody to understand.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd love to see more women in like positions of power. Like, I think that's important. Yeah.
It is. It's really important. And it's stressful too, being like trying to be the one to like rally and represent too, but it's like you said, and I guess I've said too, that representation is really important.
Yeah, totally. Like, I would literally love to see like a woman own a studio and be like running shit.
Me too.
Like, what? You never see that.
You'd never. And it's weird because you don't really think about it until you really like sit down and you're like, oh crap, really, I don't go to many studios that are run by women.
Literally never. I don't think I've ever seen a woman engineer.
Well, we need to change that.
Yeah, like, girls.
Let's just rally and change.
Yeah. Let's get in here, bitches.
Exactly. So let's get more into your music. I feel like what's been interesting to watch with you is I feel like you've kind of, especially this last year with the last couple songs that you've released, you've definitely made a bit of a musical transition a bit. Like, I feel like it's definitely more like you have the R&B influence still, and I feel like that's you, but you definitely had some more housey kind of music vibes. Yeah. So, like, what kind of music have you indulged in the last couple years to kind of influence the sound that you have now?
Oh, that's interesting. I love, like, Kaytranada and,
God.
like...
I love Kaytranada so much.
Me too. He's so dope.
He's so amazing.
Jameson, The Weeknd, of course, is always going to be one of my influences. But I love you for noticing that, because you know my music. Yeah, and R&B just got like kind of boring. Like, I did it for so long. I was like, what else can we explore? Like, what can we do? But still keep the sense of like yourself in it in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like you definitely do a good job at it, because it doesn't seem like you're trying to be like an EDM pop star. Like, you're just being yourself, but incorporating all those influences into your sound, and the way you can translate that, it's super cool.
That's dope. Thank you for noticing that.
Yeah, girl, I got you. Don't worry. But speaking of new music, though, you have released a song already this year. What's the date today? It's the 12th. So we're like not even 2 weeks into the year. Unavailable. Honestly, the first line alone, every woman can relate to that. You only want me when I'm unavailable. Shit. And I'm just like, stop. So
pain. Yeah, pain.
Is it who, like, how am I trying to say this? What inspires you to write the music that you do, or who?
Emotional pain.
Yeah.
Emotional turbulence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or happiness, or love, or crushes. Like, really, honestly, emotions.
Yeah. I mean, emotions do run everything.
True. Yeah. That song is really drilly, too. Like, it's like
I noticed that. It's so good, and I love all your visuals, too. I will say, like, your visuals are so sick. Do you have, like, a say into kind of how you want visuals for your art to look like?
Yeah, I definitely take, like, a huge creative direction on most of it, because I think it's, like, you want people to see it the way that you hear it. So a lot of the time I'm like, I want this to make sense and, like, represent the song okay, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I try to, like, mood board and kind of, like, tell people as much as I can.
Yeah. No, that's so dope. Because, like, I'm a huge sucker for visuals and music, too. I think I said this to one of my friends the other day. Like, I can hear a song 1,000 times and get sick of it, but then when I see it in a music video, I'm like, okay, I want to listen to it more. It's so weird how it's like that.
Or dancers.
Yes.
Like, doing choreo to something, like, makes you hear it in, like, a new way. I'm like...
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I need to listen to this, and then I keep replaying it in my head, just seeing kind of what I saw.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, no, that's dope. And yeah, you did release a lot of music. You released a lot of singles: Surrounded, Money on the Line, Egypt, and Fucked Up. What can we expect from you?
Those names are so funny.
I know, it's perfect. What can we expect from you more in 2025?
I was thinking today, like, maybe I should start a project because I had dropped so many singles. I think I just get like excited when I have a track and I'm I want to put it out, and it's kind
and we are in like the single era. I definitely feel like we're definitely moving more towards like people prefer singles. I prefer albums because I'm a huge music nerd, but
sometimes like when you love someone, it's like nice to binge a whole album of theirs instead of being like, let me wait till you drop the next single. But also, I get impatient. I just want to drop stuff. An album takes like time, and you have to kind of curate like the flow of it and kind of work on it for a chunk of time, and then I just get impatient. But I think this year more shows.
Hell yeah.
More shows.
Yeah.
Maybe a project. Just really want to focus on like more performances though, for sure.
Yeah. Dude, it's definitely your time. I mean, I've been pushing you like 2 years ago. I'm like, why the hell are you not up on that stage? Because I'm like, your shit's like better than like a lot of these people here, high key.
Yeah, I was like, damn, why am I not? It's just, I guess the like right opportunities have to pass me.
Yeah, and making the connections too, and like also again, like what we were saying, it can be a really hard barrier in Seattle with the music scene to like break in and like 100%. Get your stuff heard. So that makes a lot of sense.
It's taking some time.
Yeah, but good things do take time. I really learned that it's you got to slow grow it, you know. Yeah. If you want it to happen overnight, you're going to end overnight.
So real.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yes, exactly. So I think I always love to ask people this. Your first album, because you do have an album out, it's called At Night, that came out like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fucking love that album.
It's so good, dude. What can you compare from your first album to your most recent project, Unavailable?
It's so different. I feel like also that era was like, you know how we were talking about earlier, like just the balls to like leave and just like think you're hot shit and be so confident. Like I was like 18, 19, I'm just like so confident, like full of myself and a little bit more arrogant, like, and a lot of that was like, I'm talking shit, I'm smoking weed, I'm out at this party, I'm in Hollywood, but like it was real. It was like what I was living.
Yeah, you're actually saying about what you've experienced.
Yeah, but I think now it's a little more like, I don't know, I just like seeing the growth. It's a little more like, maybe not more real, but just where I am in my life now and a little bit different. The sound is super different, and when I compare like the songs as well, like I think my vocals are stronger now too a bit.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, just the overall production and like my voice being stronger. So I like to listen back though and have it as a time capsule to see like where we've been, where we're going.
Yeah, it's always so cool to almost like follow a musician through like every stage of their life and their growth, and you can really hear it in like the production quality, the way they use their voice, and then also lyrically too. It's like you just like finding artists that are able to grow intellectually with you. It's what keeps people around, you know, instead of doing the same stuff over and over and over like 10 years later. Like, yo, I'm like 45 and I'm still popping bottles and I'm still smoking weed, and I'm like, you need to go home.
Oh my god, that's so true. I feel like I'm like outgrowing that type of shit. I mean, I love some ignorance stuff, but like what you're saying exactly. Yeah, it's like, dude, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, it's like it's time to grow up, dude. You need to go home. But you've also, what I find interesting about you, and I know people do this, but you have traveled like all over to make music. And weren't you in Mexico when you made like some music too, or am I just tripping?
Yeah, I like I had this freak out like 2 years ago where I quit my job and I was like, I'm gonna move to Mexico, and
yes. Wait, I love that.
I went on this website called Workaway. You can like do a work exchange. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I have. I've definitely looked into it.
Yeah, I like watched a lot of vlogs because I was like, is this safe? Is this reliable?
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to this really tiny town and I brought like all my equipment just because I was like gonna be there for so long, and I worked on some stuff, and then I've like flown to Vegas to work with this guy that sends me beats for like years and years to work with him. So cool. He was really dope, and I met some other producers there, and then you know, I fly back to LA a lot to work with people, but it's so like worth the investment of like flying out and working with people, because there's just, you just get one, the experience of like the traveling, two, like meeting people and really making the time and efforts go out there, I feel like that means a lot to them too.
Yeah.
And then just like seeing new studios is always so exciting, and like all of that has been dope.
Yeah, like meeting new people too, making those new connections. And I think and when it was like one of the podcast interviews you did, you talked about how nice it is to really just be in person and work with people besides just having people send your stuff. Like, you know, we're definitely in a very remote era since COVID. And I know music people have been able to send, you know, their vocals in the past, but there is something so special just being face to face with someone.
So true. Like, you can't get like the synergy in real life in a session when you're in a room together when you're by yourself. Mm-hmm. I've never done like virtual sessions. You know how some people do that?
Yeah. I don't know if I could do that myself.
I don't either. I'm like, I don't want to FaceTime you and make a song. That's weird as hell.
Yeah, it's like there's just like such a disconnect and then the delay too.
Yeah.
And like I totally get that. Mm-hmm. What's the craziest or like your most favorite place you've traveled to make music?
I think like my Vegas trip was kind of iconic because you don't think of Vegas as having like a music scene. You kind of think of like the Strip and it being like trashy, but there's a really big scene out there.
Really?
And
yeah.
There's some talented people. They throw shows a lot. Kind of like right off the Strip, they have this studio called Studio 77 that I worked at, and it was fucking beautiful. I think I got to record on like a $10,000 mic, and it was like the sound of being in that room and hearing it on like those speakers was like,
oh yeah, it's like you're in heaven, literally.
Yeah, it was so amazing. And then it's one of those buildings where there's like 9 studios.
Oh,
you know, so people
so it's
would
like a
bounce
full
around.
Functioning like business.
Yeah. And like you said, meeting new people, because producers would just walk in and be like, oh, what are y'all cooking? What are y'all cooking?
Like, it's me. I'm the chef.
Yeah, I'm like, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Alexis.
Yeah, but no, they still send me stuff too just because of that trip like years later. So
that's so dope.
Yeah, I'm like, that one was a really like fundamental trip for me. I think I was 22.
How special too to be able to go around the world and make music.
Yeah,
like, that's not something everybody can do.
You can.
I mean, you can. You definitely can.
But I hear you. No, it is a blessing. I think just like staying in touch with people is super important. You know?
Yeah.
Keeping those connections as you like aren't in the same city.
And making it a real connection instead of just, hey, like I'm hitting you up just because I want music to be made.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So really quick, there was so I'm a huge like reggaeton fan, and I don't know if you still are, but like you did release a cover of a Rosalia song like many moons ago.
I'm on Nardwar, like you digging up the dirt.
I mean, you're Alexis Brooke, we have to know. And I loved it, and I just want to know, are you ever open to like maybe releasing more Spanish music? Or was that just kind of like this is for funsies?
No, there was like a really big period of my time when I was like really trying hard to do Spanish music, like work with people that could help me write in Spanish and stuff like that. And I wanted to be like a reggaeton baddie at one point too.
Dude, yeah.
Like, I was like, that would be such a sick rebrand. But it is so difficult like to write in Spanish. It is so
Are you fluent?
Impossible. Like not even fluent in speaking, but writing so different. Mm-hmm. Like rhyming in another language is crazy. So yeah, that one, the cover was dope though, because then I didn't have to think about it. You know, I could just memorize the lyrics.
Yeah, exactly. It's like kind of easy work a little bit. But you still like made it your own, which was super cool, and you hit those notes really well, which is Rosalia is not an easy person to cover.
Thank you. She's so iconic.
I love her so much.
She's so cool.
She's like the coolest person she's ever.
Like, so
and
cool.
She's so like cool, but it's like she's not afraid to be weird and look like, and she's not ugly, but like I always love when artists aren't afraid to look ugly for their art. Agreed. You know, and I think that's what she does so well. And just also just fashion wise, like her, like nothing like I've seen before.
She's like the fucking it girl, dude. Like her Motomami tour.
Did you go?
No, but
I
like,
really
did you see all her visuals
yes.
and her choreo and just like,
dude, it's like there's some parts where like got me emotional just watching her, because like when she'll sing certain songs,
oh yeah,
you can tell like she starts to really get like her eyes get wet. Like she gets like teary-eyed, and I've just never seen anyone perform the way that she has, where it's like she's really feeling every lyric to like her core.
Yes. And then she started with like flamenca.
That is true.
And if you watch some of those, like those will make me emotional too. 'Cause power, like talk about a powerful woman, dude. Like
her voice is even stronger during like her flamenco era, I felt like too. Like just like
she's so cool. Like and the way that she kind of incorporates that, but like into like modern music.
I know. She's been able to translate that incredibly well, which is I feel like really hard to do.
I know.
Like they couldn't be more opposite, but I mean they are so similar at the same time.
Yeah, she is a queen. I love
so
her.
we love Rosalia here.
Yeah.
So you are also a music video director for yourself. I don't know if you've done other people, but you've had 2 showings like at the Slexscope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of them was for your music video Feelings, and the other one Money on the Line. So I know you were really involved with Feelings for sure.
Oh yeah.
What was kind of like your thought process when you were creating that?
Oh my God, I was going through the worst breakup of my life, like court involved type chaos.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, I want to kill this person.
Yeah.
I can't. So I'm going to like make art out of it and like make a video where I like kill a man, kill an ex, whatever.
Wait, yes.
So that was like that whole thing. And I was like at my mom's house, like, is this crazy if I like drag a body in my trunk and like do all this? And she's like, no, do it.
It is, but who cares?
Yeah, like.
Who cares?
For fun.
No, yeah, for the art. Nothing's too crazy.
It's kind of healing. But yeah, then that whole thing was like, do we use a chainsaw? Do we use a baseball bat? Like, how do we want to do the murder? Like, so kind of really thought-oriented details of how we want to kill out this, like, fake murder and kind of direct that whole thing. That was really fun.
Yeah, it looked super fun. I always think it's fun acting like a bad person.
Yeah.
You know? Were you in as much of in control as Money on the Line?
Money on the Line. Yeah. And then Money on the Line, we did like a poker game concept.
Oh, that's cool.
Because Money on the Line, I was like, let's make it like a business deal. So we did like a poker game. Yeah, so kind of both. I like will bring, I usually have a meeting with the director and I'm like, this is my concept. Like, how can we execute this? And they'll help me with like props and kind of locations and things like that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because you definitely do have like a huge team around you. For those, it seems.
Yeah. Those are more involved. That's why I don't do videos like too often because it's like it's so much work and it's just me. So it's like exhausting sometimes.
It can be impossible.
Yeah, you know, coordinating with everybody's schedules and then you want people in the video and glam and locations. It's like a lot of work.
Yeah. I think what's cool about your music videos is I feel like it takes a lot of your personal interests and puts it into one. Like, you know, visuals, the music, and then also like fashion to a degree.
Oh yeah.
So I'm so curious, and I'm sure a lot of people are. Who are you inspired by when it comes to fashion?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Wow. I don't know if I have an answer for that.
Or like, do you seek, because you make mood boards for music, do you kind of like, are you like a Pinterest girly?
Oh,
like
yeah, I love Pinterest. I love Pinterest. And I'll make new boards all the time, kind of depending on what vibe I want.
Yeah.
You know? You know who's really dope to me? There's this, what do you call her? Creative director. Her name's Nadia Lee Cohen.
Sounds familiar.
She does, like, some really creepy, weird shit. But then she also dresses kind of, like, Renaissance and gorgeous.
Oh, that's so cool.
She's really cool.
I love when they dress completely the opposite of what they produce.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, she's really gorgeous. And then her work is very, like, always getting called demonic and weird and Satanist, but I think it's just really cool.
People are so annoying when they do that.
know,
it's like, can you keep your religion like out of art, please? Like even with Doja Cat, when she like did her whole like transition where she has short hair, and like everybody's like, dude, it's like so demonic, and I'm like, it's Hollywood coming out of her. I'm like, just stop.
I know, it's too much, guys. Like people just want to express themselves.
People
like,
just do too much.
Yeah, and people have different eras. I feel like I get influenced by a lot of abstract people, like people that are super out there.
Yeah.
I love that. I love risks.
Yeah, it makes it fun, and it brings something new to the table that most people haven't thought of, or they're just not doing at all, because it's easier to kind of stick with the status quo a little bit.
Yeah.
And you also sort of model as well. Is your modeling like for music, or is that a separate passion that you have?
I think like it's mainly for music. I never wanted to be like a runway model or anything like that. Maybe at one point, but I was just like, I'm short, and that's not really my vibe.
Yeah.
That's not really my passion.
Yeah.
But anything I'm shooting for, I usually like want to use it for a music visual, because that's like what I want to promote, you know?
Yeah.
Not like, hey, book me to model. Like, you know.
Yeah, you're
really
doing
care
it
about
for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so dope. And do you do like your own makeup and outfit and set when you kind of put that together?
Yeah, the most recent, the like shoot I did for Unavailable, that girl that shot it, she also styled me, which was really cool.
That's so cool. That must be fun to have someone else take over for a chance.
It was, because I was like, dude, I do everything. Like, I'm down to just like hire you to style me that day, because I'm just tired.
Yeah.
But now I'm really like kind of set on doing my own glam, because there was like videos that I look back on that I hired glam for, and it's like really dramatic. And I'm like, I don't think I need to do too much with music videos. Like, I don't know why I was like, I need everything like crazy glam. Like, I can do it myself. So yeah, I'm more comfortable doing like my own glam and outfits most times. It's also trusting someone else, you know?
Yeah, especially because, like, you know your facial features the best and what looks good on you. And so sometimes when other people do it and they kind of do their own way, I'm like, I hate this. And it sucks because it's like you're already sitting there in the makeup and you can't, like, back out.
And that's risky.
But, like, you'd be, like, an ass, maybe. But
yeah, I know. It's I don't know. I don't trust it too much anymore.
Oh, yeah. So you love doing your makeup, though?
I love doing makeup.
It's so fun.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. I literally, like, I don't know where you go get your makeup. I go to Ulta a lot, and, like, I spend so much money there. It's pathetic. Like, it makes me sick.
I get, like, so overstimulated, and then I have to be in there for, like, 2 hours looking at everything.
Me too. I have to do, like, laps around the same places, too, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And
yeah. Like, then you get the hair care, and then you get, like, the face care.
Yeah. And then you go to the register, and they have even more stuff. I'm like, stop taking my money, please.
Please, don't look at me like that.
Yeah, I know. I know. My parents give me so much crap about it, because they're like, you have so many products. I'm like, you just don't get it.
I know.
You really don't get it. Like, this is what I need to, like, go through my life. Yeah.
I can't walk anywhere without, like, at least picking up a gloss.
Me too.
I'm, like, such a whore for that. Like, I'll go into Target or something and be like, makeup section.
Oh,
it's like, chill out,
like,
bitch.
it's like I have everything I need. I don't need to be there, but I'm still there.
Like,
dude, when they put the Ulta in Target, I was like, it's so over.
Oh, my God. Yeah. It's a wrap.
I'm like,
as
it's
if we
so
didn't
over.
get stuck in Target, like, enough. Already.
Oh, I know. Are you a huge Target girly?
Oh, I love Target.
Dude, do you go to the one in Issaquah's, the OG one?
I love that one.
I love Gilman Village, I'm not gonna lie. They have, like, all the food you need there.
They have such good food.
I know.
Yeah.
They have really good food. I always love going to the Panera there, especially.
Oh,
even though I know that's a chain, it's not special, but I still love it.
Like that location specifically.
Oh, yeah. It's just like I'm at home. It's my home away from home.
I know.
So before we wrap up the show, because we're getting near the end, I always love to... Wait, actually, stop. No, pause. I want to know where you get your clothes. Please. Or is that a secret?
No. I mean, that's interesting. So I love thrifting. Like,
obviously.
Yeah, if I'm, like, shopping anywhere new, I'm trying to think of, like...
Are there, like, specific thrift stores you prefer?
Goodwill, I think. But, like, the buckets, like, real ghetto.
Oh, the outlet. Yeah. You can find some serious stuff there. I get too intimidated going in there.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's just for me. I have really bad ADHD. So when things are lined up, I can kind of go through it better. But if everything's just in, like, a pile, my mind just doesn't go there. Yeah. Even though I need to.
It is
not be like that and be like that. Like, digging. I need to be digging.
Get to work.
Yeah, exactly.
I also like, I'm trying to think, I just got these pants. They're huge at Berkshire.
Oh, yeah, Bershka.
That is a pretty dope, like, store I just learned about.
It's sick. It's super big in Europe too.
Yeah,
it's
think
massive
it is
in
European.
Europe. Yeah.
But it's online. I feel like I don't like buy new stuff like a ton. So kind of just like thrift. I love jewelry too. I don't have a lot of my jewelry on today, but like anytime I'm at a market or traveling or anything, I'm always like big on rings. I think for me it's like the accessorizing that's super important.
People really underestimate the power of accessories.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same way too. I've been definitely more like, okay, even though I have a lot of jewelry already, I'm like, I feel like you can never have too much rings.
Because
there's so many different styles too.
I go off on the rings like most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, your rings look good today.
Thanks. I got like only 2, but usually I'm stacked, girl. I do like bracelets. I just got this cute bracelet. The charm bracelet.
That's cute. Where's that from?
Cute. This is a Pandora one.
Oh my god. Okay.
And then you like collect the charms.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
It's so fucking cute. So
do you
I'm
get
like
to personalize it
too.
yourself?
Yeah.
That's
like you
so
just
cute.
like I got this one for Christmas. This little charm. Yeah. So I'm big on like I think the accessories kind of make the fit for me these days.
Yeah.
Be something basic and then I just like.
It dresses it up and like makes it go the extra mile. I feel like I totally feel that. All right. Nearing the end, I always play a game with everyone on here called Song Association. Pretty much I'm going to say like a vibe to you and you tell me from your discography, stuff that's released, what would fit that. So like if I say like this one's going to be a good song to cry to, you'd be like, oh, I'll pick this song.
Oh my god, I have so many songs. I'm ready.
I know. I was like, you got to narrow it down, girl. But like, but I'm going to give you 5. So the first one, obviously, crying. Yeah, like a good song to cry to.
I'll say Runaway.
That's a really good song. And then you're pre-gaming with the girls. You're getting ready to go out.
Oh, shoot.
The tequila's getting passed around.
I have a song called Fireball. That's like...
Oh, yeah. That's such a fun song. Yeah. Is that about that?
Fireball song. It's literally about Fireball because I love Fireball.
Do you still like Fireball?
I do. You?
I did when I was really young. Not like really young. I started drinking when I was 18. Actually, that is a fact. I started drinking after high school. Wow. I'm not lying, but I did it. I loved Fireball back then, but not as much anymore.
Yeah.
I think just this thing I grew out of.
Fair enough.
Okay, getting lit though. Like you're at the club, you've made it. You're ready to go out or throw down.
Okay, like you're throwing ass, like
yeah.
I'm like, do I have any songs like that?
Or like a sexy like grind, like
ooh. Oh my god, what's this one song called? Swerve, I think. Yeah,
that's a fun song.
It's an old one, but I'm like,
dig
deep for that one. Yeah, we could throw some ass to
skirt. Yeah. I love that song. I love hearing you say that too. Okay, a nice sunny day.
Ooh, that 70s song. Big vibe.
I love that. That whole project is so good, dude.
Thank you.
I love that project.
It's like so slept on. That was like a little.
I know. Though. That's my beef with Seattle is like people need to stop sleeping on people. And then Screw Him.
Ooh. Damn. I feel like I got a lot like that. Maybe like because I just dropped Unavailable, it's on the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
Kind of like, not even like a FU, but like peacefully, like.
Respectfully, leave me alone.
Yeah, respectfully, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I love that. All right. Thanks so much for coming in, Alexis. Finally. Oh my God. I feel like the world was literally trying to tear us apart to not have this happen.
We made it happen. I'm so happy.
I know. Me too, dude. So before you go, you want to look in that camera and let everybody know where they can find you on Spotify, Apple Music, social medias?
Yeah. Alexis Brooke on everything.
Alexis Brooke. Okay. What about your Instagram?
Oh, yeah. It's also Alexis Brooke.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll put that in the description. I don't know why I was being weird about that. But awesome. Thanks so much for coming, Alexis. Do you have, like, any uploads that we can look forward to for songs? Or is that kind of just, we'll figure it out when we get there?
Just right now, I'm going to just promo this one that I just dropped a lot and just work on some more stuff for this year. So, yeah, but thank you so much.
Yeah, dude, thanks for coming in. Stream Unavailable, by the way. It's so good. And for all the girlies, That I meant it on you when you're not available. You can relate to it. It's the anthem. She makes songs for the girls, so I ride for the girls.
You're so right.
Yes, I'm right. I know that's right. All right, it's that 206 Sound Podcast. I'm Radio Natalie, and we'll see you next time.